Hello, children. How are you? And what all you have been doing these days? We finished with the last chapter was food preservation. We did that in videos as well as I have done that whole chapter in the class also, in the online class. I'm coming to the next chapter in the same unit, that is cooking of the food or food preparation. Now, when we want to prepare food, we use so many simple methods which are quick and cook the food in a very good manner. Mostly, we have to cook the food, except very few vegetables which we can, fruits or vegetables which we can, fruits of course we can eat raw, but some of the vegetables which we use in salad, we use them raw, but other things have to be cooked because we cannot eat them raw. And if we look at the cooking, we should understand that cooking brings out variety, taste, flavor, texture, and also the nutritive value of the food, and also increases the digestibility of the food. If we take raw potato, we can't eat it, but once we boil it, we can just make anything out of it. So we have to, when we are cooking food, different food needs different methods of cooking. Every food cannot be cooked by one simple method, because if we use the same method for all the food, what will happen? Some of the food will not get cooked properly. Some of the foods will lose their nutrients. Some of the food will lose their color, flavor, texture. So that is why we have to use different methods for different kind of foods, because cooking affects the texture, color, flavor, and other than that nutritive value of the food. Suppose we are cooking something which has water soluble vitamins, what will happen? If we cook it in a lot of water, we don't know, and we just cook it in a lot of water and throw away that water, what we are doing? We are losing on those water soluble vitamins, we are losing the nutrients. So the correct method has to be used. If we look at the different foods, we may see that some of the food, if they are boiled, they are the best cooked. Their nutritive value is preserved. Color, texture, flavor, everything is preserved. Some food will be more beneficial after cooking. We cannot eat them raw. When we cook them, they become soft, digestible. At the same time, they release their nutrients. Like carrot, spinach, or tomatoes release antioxidants. When they are cooked, their cells break and release all these antioxidants. Some foods are good when they are raw, and there are many more examples. Cooking not only retains the nutrient but also improves the nutritive value of the food most of the time. So we move further to check what are the different methods of cooking. We must know what are the principles behind cooking, why cooking is done, how it is helpful, what is the importance of cooking. Now, actually, the food must preserve the flavor, because the flavor only makes our glands secrete the juices. And also, when we get the flavor of some food in our mouth, the saliva starts secreting. So, all these things help in digestion. Like if we want to preserve the flavor of fish, we have to wrap it in some kind of batter. That we make different kinds of batter and preserve the fish. And when we cook it, it gives a beautiful flavor, very tasty flavor. Then secondly, food should become digestible. Now when we are cooking, it has to become digestible. That means it should become soft by breaking down the complex compound into simpler form. So when the complex compound come into simpler form, the food becomes, for us, the food becomes easy to digest. If we look at the example, the starch cells break up and are easily available to the starch splitting enzymes. Cooking blends the flavors of the food, spices, condiments, and this enhances the taste of food. When we are cooking, we put so many spices, we put so many condiments, so the flavor gets mixed up and it increases the taste of the food. Some more principle. Next principle of cooking is when we cook the food, combining two food materials together. Now, when we combine two food materials and cook them, it not only enhances the taste, flavor, but also increases the nutritive value of the food. For example, if we mix rice, which is low in protein, and combine it with dal, which has a good quality of protein, makes it a good combination. No, rice is more in starch and dal is more in protein, good protein. So it becomes a complete food. Raw meat and fish have unbearable foul smell. Like that, many other food have, smell which we cannot bear when they are raw. What happens when we cook them? This foul smells dies and the flavor of the food comes up. Cooking also helps to kill pathogens, bacteria, microorganisms present in the food and thus make the food very safe for us to consume. Cooking provides a longer shelf life to food. For example, I have given boiled milk. There can be other examples also. It increases the shelf life of the food. If I buy some potatoes and keep them in the shelf at a room temperature, what will happen? After few days, the potatoes will have eyes and they will be, very soon there will be sprouts. So what I have done with the potatoes, I have just wasted those potatoes. And if I would have cooked them and then kept in the refrigerator or eaten them, that means I am increasing the shelf life of food. Boiled milk, like if I bring milk and just leave it like that, what will happen? Within 8 to 10 hours, it will curdle and it will be of no use. But when I boil it, I can use it for more than 24 hours. Cooking retains and increases the nutritive value of food. That is a known fact that nutritive value is retained. At the same time, we learn how the nutritive value of food is increased in this chapter only, in the last part. So cooking retains the nutritive value and also increases the nutritive value of food. These are some of the principles of cooking. Now we cannot take the food and straight away go and cook it. No. We have to do some pre-preparations. The heading here is wrong. It is only written preparation. It should be pre-preparation. That means before preparing the food, we have to do something more in the beginning. There are various things which need to be done before the preparing or cooking the food. So that is why these methods are called pre-preparation methods of food. Now what are they? First of all, washing. Naturally, when whatever we bring at home, vegetable or fruits, what do we do with them? We thoroughly wash them because it will remove dirt and dust and any enzymes or any bacteria on the food will also get washed away. Washing with salt water, like in these days, in days of corona or COVID, it is best to wash the vegetables and fruits with salt water or warm water so that it kills the bacteria and the other germs. So the very first process before cooking is to wash whatever fruit, vegetable we are going to cook or cereals. Second step is not exactly second step, but second pre-preparation method is peeling. We cannot cook the food with the skin on. Most of the food are cooked with their skin on, but some of the food which have very hard skin or bitter skin or skin which does not get cooked well has to be removed. So that removing of the skin is known as peeling. So we peel the outer layer, which is like a hard cover or a skin of the vegetable or fruit. So when we peel, we should peel a thin layer of whatever fruit or vegetable we are peeling. We should not try to take out the thick layer of the from the vegetable or the fruit. Why should we peel it thinly? Because many fruits and vegetables have nutrients lying just below the peel. So if we take out the thick peel, what we are doing? We are losing on the nutrients. If we remove a thin peel, we are saving the nutrient. We cannot afford to have it with the peel, so we have to remove the peel, but try as far as possible to peel it, to remove the peel which is very thin. Next pre-preparation method is cutting. Now, naturally, when we buy vegetables, we wash it, we peel it, and we just cannot cook the whole piece of that vegetable. So, it needs to be cut because that will make our cooking also easier. Why? When we cut a piece, the area or the surface area of for the cooking is increased because it is exposed now, and that helps in cooking because it becomes easy and quick. So, and it is always uh, good to cut bigger pieces so that the surface exposed is less. Next process is grinding. Grinding means crushing any of the dry ingredients and crushing those ingredients to make it into a powder form or a paste. If the ingredients are wet, then we make paste out of it. If they are dry, then we make powder out of it. Like we make powder of for putting in sambar or any ingredient, any masala, we make it into a powder, dhania powder, mirchi powder. And paste, when we make paste, is like some chutneys. When we make that coriander chutney or nariyal chutney, then we are making, by grinding, we are making a paste in the form of chutney. Okay, next pre-preparation method of food is sieving. Sieving means to pass it through the net. Any powdery material which we pass through a net, it is done to remove the lumps, first of all. Or if there are any weevils or any insects inside it, inside the powder, that can be removed by sieving the material. Sieving is also used to mix two powder substances thoroughly. If we have to mix something very nicely, then also we use the sieve. Like when we are making a cake, what do? We take flour and we add baking powder to it and sieve these two things so that they get mixed very well. Next comes soaking. That means whatever we want to soak means to keep that food material in the water for some time. Mostly it is, if you are cooking pulses etc., then you just soak it for say about half an hour. But if you are cooking rajma or chole, then you have to soak it overnight. Now during soaking, the seeds absorb water and they swell up. So when we are cooking, the soaked seeds take less time to get cooked. Thus, they save time as well as fuel. Next is pounding. Pounding is done by the pestle and mortar. Both dry as well as wet ingredients can be pounded. And to pound means to crush whatever food we have put in the pestle and in the mortar. That is to crush, to make it into a powder or to make it into a granules. and it is also used for flattening the rice. At times, we pound rice to make them flat, or even the meat is being pounded. Meat pieces are being pounded before cooking. Next pre-preparation method is beating or whipping. Liquid or semi-liquid things are whipped with the help of a beater or a mixer, and even with the help of a fork. What happens? It makes the food, when we beat or when we whip anything, it makes the food light and fluffy. How the food becomes light and fluffy? Because when we are beating, we are adding air to it. So air being incorporated into it, it becomes light and fluffy. For example, if you take egg white and you just beat or whip it, it becomes quite a big amount in size and it becomes fluffy. Why? Because the air has got into it. Next is mixing, which is very simple. Mixing any two ingredients lightly together. They can be wet food material or dry fruit material. Kneading is the process of mixing a powdered food, that is wheat flour, besan, suji, maida, anything can be there, with liquid, that can be milk or even water, to make it into the dough form. And it can be made with hands or by the use of mixture, making it smooth and cohesive mass so that it is sticking together and becomes one big lump out of it, and it should be smooth and pliable. That is how kneading helps us to get a perfect dough for making chapatis. Grating means turning solid food into shreds by rubbing it against a plate with perforated sharp edged holes, which is called a grater. Everyone must be having a grater in their home, so that you must have seen your mother grating something, sometimes carrots or some ginger or something. So grating is to make it into the shred forms. Some more methods of pre-preparation of food. Mixing, that is again mixing two things very lightly. This has been repeated, we discussed it in the last slide also. Kneading, sorry, I am repeating the same slide, I am sorry, I have to move the slide. 1 minute. Okay, with this we have finished the pre-preparation methods of preparing the food before cooking. So next we will see, in the next part we are going to see the different methods which are used for cooking the food. Okay.